Check, 1, 2.
जय गणेश घननाथ दयानिधि सखन विधान कर दूर हमारी मम वंदन से पार करो प्रभु चरण
कनेक्शन और होना उनके पास ये था इसमें दो कनेक्शन आ सकता है।
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया, भजले गोविंदम।
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया, भजले गोविंदम।
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी
मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ।
सभी लोग अपने स्थान पे खड़े हो जाएं। सभी लोग अपने स्थान पे खड़े हो जाएं। पूज्य व्यास जी आ रहे हैं। थोड़ा थोड़ा किनारे हो जाएंगे। थोड़ा किनारे हो जाइए। थोड़ा आप लोग ना इधर हल्का सा उधर उधर उधर।
आप लोग इधर
क्या कहाँ करना है? ओम हरि ओम स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धस्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु प्रीखदस्वा मरुतः वृष्णिमातरः शुभं जावानो विदथे कुजगमय्यः अग्निर्जीवा मनवः सूरचक्षसो विश्वेनो देवा अवशागमन्निह भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गे पुष्टवागुंसस्तनो विवसेमहि देवहितं यदायुः शतमिन्नो शरदो अन्तिदेवा जत्रा नश्चक्राज्जरशन्तनो नाम पुत्रासो यत्र पितरो भवन्ति मानो मर्यादिरिखता युर्गन्तोः अदितिर्द्योरदितिरन्तरिक्षमदित्रिं माता स पिता स पुत्रः विश्वे देवा अदितिः पञ्चजना अदितिर्जातमदितिर्जनित्वं द्योः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगुं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधिः। ॐ नमोऽस्तु ते व्यास विशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्रः येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णे प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमया प्रदीपः अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। अज्ञानातिमिराधस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मण्यदेवाय गौब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। व्यासाय व्यासरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वे ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचारूढमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कांतो राधा कांतो नमस्तुते। बोले श्रीमद्-भागवत महापुराण की जय। व्यास जी महाराज की जय। कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय।
सभी लोग स्वागत है। आज कार्यक्रम today we continue with our Bhagavad Katha. We ask you to please remain standing for Bhagavad Arati. मन ध्यान करो, भागवत का आरती है।
भगवान की
सभी लोग आसन लीजिए. Everyone, please be seated. If you're in a line, everyone else, please be seated. There's no reason to be standing. You can go to the visit Bhagwan Krishna in an orderly manner. सभी लोग आसन लीजिए, लीजिए. हमारो धन राधा श्री राधा श्री राधा.
Shri Radhe,
Shri Radhe,
Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Krishna Lal ki Jai.
Namaste and Sitaram, everyone. Namaste and Sitaram, everyone. And for those of you who are entering the temple, I just want to remind everyone that there is a lineup along the outside corridor. So we need to have some structure. Please line up one behind the other. And no one should need to get upset. Everyone has an opportunity today to come and take blessings from Lord Krishna. So please line up in an orderly manner along the side, so that way everyone has an opportunity to come and take darshan from Lord Krishna.
Neelam ji, Arya.
Once again,
एक मिनट हिंदी बोलो बता दो हिंदी
माइक ले लीजिए
नमस्ते आप सभी से मेरा निवेदन है कि आप एक सीधी लाइन लेकर आएँ, दर्शन करें और ये जो बीच की लाइन है वहाँ से बाहर निकल जाएं। दरवाजे पे प्लीज़ भीड़ मत करिए। हमारा भागवत का सप्ताह चल रहा है, इसलिए पंडित जी का प्रवचन हो रहा है, तो आप लोगों से हमारी विनती है कि शांति से आएँ, दर्शन करें और बीच वाले रास्ते से बाहर निकल जाएं। धन्यवाद।
once again, Sitaram and Namaste, everyone, and welcome to those of you who are joining us for the first time this evening for our annual Bhagavad Katha. For the last few nights, we've been listening to the glories of Lord Krishna, we've been listening to Bhagavatam, and we've been learning about the different characters, the key characters involved in this great story. When we last met, yesterday we celebrated the birth of Lord Krishna. Many of you were here. And today, once again, we are celebrating because Krishna loves to have 2 birthdays in a row. Who wouldn't love 2 birthday parties? So today we are also celebrating Lord Krishna's birth once again, and we welcome all of you. But the previous evening, we learned about the characters of Gajendra and Graha. Gajendra being an elephant, a very powerful, very proud, very strong elephant. And then Graha, the crocodile, who, even though Gajendra, being such a powerful being, being able to scare and build fear in everyone around him, finally found an enemy, a foe, who could take him down in the form of the crocodile. And we also heard about Raja Parikshit, who was told, because of his ego, because of his anger, and his inability to be rational in a very, very difficult, challenging situation, was faced with a sharab. And he was told that he only had 7 days to live. Therefore, that is why we now sit and listen to Bhagavatam, because it's an opportunity for us to reflect on what we would do if we were told we only had 7 days to live. Now, many of you have heard of bucket list. I'm sure you have a bucket list. A bucket list is filled with things you want to do in your lifetime. But how many of you have a bucket list that's a spiritual bucket list? How many of you are trying to fill a bucket list about all of the things you can do to get closer to God? Is that part of your bucket list too? So as we listened again, once again, to our very learned, knowledgeable Panditji in the form of Pandit Rupnath Sharma, we ask you while you're reflecting today on what your bucket list would be in terms of spirituality. Sitaram and Namaste.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Guru Charan Kamale Vyo Namaha. Deyim sada paribhavak nanabhishtadoham tirtaspadam shiviram chinutam sarinyam भृत्यार्तियं प्रणतपाल भवादिकोतं वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दं
वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम्
विभूषित करा नवनीरदाभा पीताम्बरवरुन्द बिम्बबलाधरोष्ठा पूर्णेन्द्र सुन्दरमुखादविन्दनेत्रा कृष्णात्परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जय मुदीरये ततो जय मुदीरये। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विष्णुपत्यादिहेतवे तापत्रविनाशाय
श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः।
जय जय श्री राधारमण जय जय नवल किशोर जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय जय
माखन चोर जय जय माखन चोर।
बोलो वृंदा बिहारी लाल की
जय।
जय राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे
जय राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे
राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे
गोविंद राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद राधे गोपाल राधे
लाल की जय। सभी लोग स्वागत। Let me take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you who have joined us in the Mandir today. Man Shanti. Vasudevasudam Devam Kamsachanuvarvanam Devaki Paramanandam
Krishnam Mandir Jagadgurum Krishnam Mandir Jagadgurum
Mukam karoti vachalam Pangulangayate girim Yad kripatamaham
Vande Paramanandamadavam Paramanandamadavam
Shri Krishnaya
Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah Shri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानान्तरस्मानं परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय कृतदुष्कृतां धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय सम्भवामि युगे कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य, from time to time the divine Lord takes human form to uphold dharma, the righteousness of humanity, for humanity to exist in a most harmonious way. Last night, throughout the world and even today in some parts of the world, we Hindus are celebrating Krishna Janam, Bhagwan ka avatar, Vishnu Bhagwan ka avatar, where the Lord comes as Krishna to again to Dharma Sthapana, to install Dharma or to ensure righteousness in the world. But we live in a world where although we have laws, we have a democratic system, we have a democracy, even those who are in government fail to practice that which is under the democratic principle, the concept of kindness, compassion, understanding, and fulfillment of our duty. These responsibilities are all, within all of us, we have a responsibility for fulfilling our duty. As a human being, we have different duties. There is a duty of a mother, a duty of a father, a duty of that of a son, of a daughter, child, a duty of a teacher. Can someone ask those two children to please sit down, please? Bachcho bhai? Thank you. We all have different responsibilities in whatever capacity it is we are engaged in society. Today our Katha is about Monk Govardhan. And today we shall be doing Govardhan Puja after reciting Govardhan Katha. But I believe it's very important that we understand the significance of Bhagwan Krishna's intervention in the normality of what was happening in his gaon, in his village, and to his family, that he thought was not quite right. We join Bhagwan Krishna, where he is with his father, I would say adopted parents, that he's not known about, Nanda and Yashoda. And he is observing what they do, and he's asking questions. He noticed that the people of that family, that kingdom, that gaon, would glorify Lord Indriya. And they will make obeisance to him. And they will do this with regularity. Annually this will be done with such devotion and with such dedication that they make the offerings. Bhagwan Krishna addressed his father in a most respectful manner and asked him, a question. Tatra tavat kriyayogo bhagavatam kim vicharati atva luki kastanme prajata sadhu banyatam prajata sadhu banyatam Shri Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Govindaya Namo Namah Shri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
Before I relate what Bhagwan Krishna is asking then his father, I want you to know that in our tradition, as Hindu tradition, we all have the marriage ceremony. And you know, if you're from Gujarat, there is a Gujarati marriage ceremony. If you're from Punjab, there's a Punjabi marriage ceremony. If you're from South, there's a Southern marriage ceremony. But the reality is, there is only one Vivah Sanskar ceremony. But all of us have our little addition based upon our geographical reference and our traditions that we brought up in our own little village, customs, and it's all incorporated into the wedding, and the entire package is called the wedding ceremony or the Vivah Sanskar. But from the Shastras, there are certain things that must be done in a wedding. That is, there must be Kanya Puja. The bride must make obeisance to Gauri Mata. Then there is Var Puja, where the groom is paid obeisance to the bride's father and he's treated as Vishnu Bhagavan. Then after Kanya Puja and Var Puja, then there is Kanyadana, where the bride's hand is placed into the hands of the groom, Hasta Milap, the meeting of the hands for the first time, and then Ganti Bandhana. They are tied together, then after that they will do their first offerings together to Agindeva. Now this is the scriptural injunction. But each and every community have little in-between things. That, you know, Panditji, when they walk in on the fire, you have to throw flowers on. That is an inclusion. It's a nice thing to do, to give ashirwad. And then some people have different traditions. When the boy comes, he must do this and so on. So these are Gaon ka customs, put together with the traditional things and brought together and says, this is how we do it in the Caribbean, this is how we do it in Nigeria, this is how we do it in India, and then there is what the Shastra says. Bhagavan Krishna is asking his father this question. He says, this ritual, this offering that you're making to Indra Devata, it should be clearly explained to me. Is this a ceremony based on spiritual injunctions? Or is it simply a custom of the ordinary society? Does everybody do this because the scripture says to do this? Or is only this Gao who is doing this to Indra? The question is it something that is universal? One. Is it something that you all worked up together and said a good thing to do? Two. Of course, Nanda explains that since the beginning of his time, we have been doing this puja and we believe that it is necessary. And if we do not fulfill our duties of this puja, we feel we will be in some way shortcoming in our commitment to serving Indra. Now I want us to think carefully in the society that we live in. Raja Indra is responsible for the activities of the elements that creates the climatic conditions. In particular, the clouds. And from science we're told that water is absorbed from the earth, taken up into the clouds, then form into cumulus clouds, and then when they reach a certain amount of gravity, then they explode into what is called rain or snow or so. That is a scientific explanation. But in Hinduism we are saying Raja Indra is responsible, he is the, let's say, the senior official, or in India, what will this be compared to in India? The district and chief minister, Gaurav? Bharat Desh mein chief minister? The chief minister of a province. So, Raja Indra is the chief minister of climatic conditions. In this country, who will be responsible for the water supply? Which ministry is responsible for water supply? Does anybody know? In this, it's called Peel region. But it's also called Public Works. Public Works, the minister who manages public works is responsible for water and sewage and drainage and so on. So in this country, the most senior official, other than the Premier of Ontario and the Prime Minister of the country, is the Minister of Public Works. If you've got a water problem, he's the guy. Now who puts this minister in office? How does he get into office? Come on, let's talk about this. Pay attention to the Katha, please. You're learning something about politics and Bhagavad Katha at the same time. Who puts him in office? We do. We elect him and we say, we think he will be a good guy for this office, and we give him our vote, and then he's anointed Minister of Public Works. When he becomes Minister of Public Works, if he says, by the way, since I'm Minister of Public Works, all of you have to receive water through my orders, make sure everyone pays an extra tax to me. They call it bribery. What do you call this in other parts of the world? When you have to give a little bit. Benji, what do you call this? Goose or grafting. So a little bit of bribery says, you all have to give me every month so much extra money so that if you want water in your district, you pay me and I'll make sure you get water. Is this minister, if he was such a minister, doing his job? But then if you said, look, we will not pay this bribery, and he says, I'll cut off your water, does he really have the power to do that? Because he's a minister to look after the interests of the people and to make sure they get water, not to cut off the water if they do not glorify him. This Katha, amongst other things, is about that concept of when someone is in power, how do we? It said the power corrupts. Once we have this status of, I am this, Raja Indra represents power that is corrupt. But Bhagavan Krishna, after listening to his father explaining this ritual, said to him that Father, and the Lord thinking to himself, I have to do something to rectify this problem. He does not want to debate the question with his father. He respects his father. His father is honest and sincere, doing his duty as was prescribed. But Bhagavan Krishna is the Supreme Lord and says, Raja Indra is one of my ministers. I, being the Supreme Lord, have appointed him to look after the climatic conditions, but he's taken advantage of his position and we have to correct him. In this country, what will happen? The minister will be impeached, or the president might be impeached if he does not do the duties of his office, or he may be taken to court and charged for negligence of duty. So who is going to tell Indra that he's doing something wrong? Of course, Bhagavan Krishna is the one who will do this. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Govindaya Namo Namah. Shri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
Bhagavan Krishna says, Asti Cherishwara Kaschit Palarupe Anya Karmaram Kartaram Bhajate Sopi Nahe Arkatu Prabhurisa Nahe Arkatu Prabhurisita Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Raja Indra is appointed by the Divine Lord to oversee the clouds and all the activities that comes from the heavenly bodies to provide rain and natural sustenance for the elements of nature. Raja Indra was demanding of the people that every year annually you must pay homage to me, and also in this ritual and this homage others benefited because all the offerings that were made to him was then ultimately distributed. Others, the grains and groceries and whatever was offered, vegetation, the people gathered. But it is not that people benefited, it is the attitude of Indra that Bhagavan Krishna was questioning. You know, many societies and organizations are doing good things, but their attitude in doing these things may be questionable. It is one thing to say, I'm giving you food, and it's one thing to say, here, take it, I'm giving it to you. But it's the same food we're giving. So the attitude in the giving has a lot to do with what is being done. So Bhagavan Krishna is saying, yes, there are good things coming out of this, but Indra needs to be given a scolding as to his approach to fulfilling his role and responsibility. Now the question we ask, when we elect this minister of public works, how should we treat him? We should treat him with respect of his office. And he must be accorded the rights of his office. That is, as a minister, he must be given an office, he must have a salary, he must have a staff, and when he makes a connection with people regarding public works, everybody must remember he is the authority in publics. So we must accord him the respect of his office. But then the next question is, what is his duty? He must always act in the best interests of the people he serves. He must always act in the best interests of the people he serves, because that is his responsibility. He was made Minister of Public Works to make sure that public supply of water and all things are adequately provided to all. Then he must fulfill, these officials must fulfill their responsibilities to the best of their ability. That is, they must use all their skills, all their authority, all the power to provide the best service. If they're only using their authority to the people who give them a bribe or the neighborhood that they like and not everyone, then they're not fulfilling their duty. In countries where there is massive corruption, you hear about it every day. The people in one country are protesting that the organizations in power are so corrupt that all the money is being, pilfered and so on and so on. The politicians are getting rich. Similarly, this katha about Govardhan is to bring us to the realization that an official has an official responsibility, and it is kartavya, his duty, to fulfill that without any expectation other than in salary and his other benefits that he gets from the job. Raja Indra was appointed to do this. Bhagavan Krishna says he's not fulfilling his duty. And as the senior of Indra, Bhagavan Krishna decides to take some action. If a minister is failing to do his duty, the senior minister or the premier of the province, it is incumbent upon him to take action. And in many cases you've seen when a minister does not perform, what happened? He's sacked from the cabinet and he's removed from the cabinet. And as such, people demand it and justice prevails. So how do we, does Bhagavan Krishna fire Indra? Say, okay, you're fired. He still needs Indra to do the job. He just wants him to do it without expecting him to serve him. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya
Namo Namah. Shri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
If there is a supreme controller who awards everything for their good deeds or bad deeds, that is, who is the supreme controller? Bhagavan. You and I can punish. You and I can take away. But the ultimate duty of decision making of who is deserving of the fruits of the karma is in the hands of God. That is why we are told we do not have the power to punish. And we should not punish. Punishment should not be. Does Bhagavan punish people? Does he? So if you did something wrong and you're receiving the fruits of your action, is that punishment? Bhagavan doesn't do anything, He's absolute from action. But he facilitates all action. Now, Bhagavan doesn't breathe for any one of us, does he? But he facilitates the oxygen for us to breathe. So is he responsible for our breathing? He's responsible for supplying the oxygen for our breathing. Is he doing his job? But if I decide to hold my nose and close my mouth and don't breathe and I die, is that God's fault? He's providing oxygen. So Bhagavan is described here as the supreme contributor to all things. And Indriya has no right to tell you that I will not make rain fall for you or not rain. That's a privilege God has granted. And who will receive rain and who will not receive rain is not Indra's responsibility, but is our karma that will determine that. And let us not look upon this as rain. Let us look upon this, that what comes to us or does not come to us, it is through our karma and through the facilitating of Bhagavan that all things happen. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
Shri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
So Bhagavan Krishna says to the people of Raj and his father, he said, look, you all are glorifying Indra so much. What about this mountain? Where do you get all of your vegetables from? You plant this mountain gives you everything. If this mountain was not here and you could not plant, you would have nothing to give to Indra anyway. So yes, the rain falls, but the earth needs to be there for the vegetation to grow. Govardhan. And this mountain that we call Govardhan is a source of nutriment of vegetation. And it consistently provides for every seed that's planted, it consistently makes sure they're germinated and they grow and they gain the sunlight, and then you get bountiful food. Do you do puja to this mountain? And they said no. So then, how come you giving thanks to Indra, but not to Mountain Govardhan? Is that right? Is Govardhan does not deserve some kind of recognition? And then Govardhan never asked anything, did he? Mount Govardhan never said, by the way, I'm not going to make your apple trees bare and your berries bare and your mangoes bare because you're not doing things to me. Govardhan just makes sure everything grows. But Indra has kind of hinted that if you all don't do this obeisance to me, then I will make the weather not so conducive. So Indra is abusing his position of authority. Bhagavan Krishna says, in that case, I want you all to follow me. Follow me and let us glorify Govardhan. Now you know, if you want to get an arrogant person or egotistical person really upset with you, all you need to do is give some attention to someone else. Or do something that they feel they're lesser than you. Oh boy, they will get so mad and so angry at you that you don't have to do anything to encourage their anger and their indignancy. They will get upset, although you didn't do anything to them. No, Bhagavan Krishna did not do anything to Indra. What did he do? He said to the people, worship Govardhan. What happened to Indra? Nothing was said to him. He is upset. He says, you know, I will teach you people a lesson. I will teach you people a lesson. And he proceeds to evoke all of his powers and let the rain come, such storm and horrendous lightning and so on, that massive floods are all over. And the people immediately are in distress. The Lord, of course, Bhagavan Krishna, in order to make sure the people believe him, when he asked them to make offerings to Govardhan mountain, the Lord with his magnificent power took the form, a massive form, and declared, I am Govardhan, meaning I, the Divine Lord, I am Govardhan, and says, you whatever you give to this mountain, you are giving to me. On the other hand, their concept was whatever they were giving to Indra was going to Indra. Bhagavan Vishnu is saying, in the form of Krishna, you are giving all to, in the name of God, Krishna Arpana. As such, there's a difference between giving to someone for benefiting them, giving a Brahman Dakshina. It is, you say Krishna Arpanam also, it is in the name of Bhagavan you are giving, not because the Brahman demands a Dakshina. You're giving him a Dakshina because it is, you feel it is your duty to give whatever you can, and then you offer it to him, and then he gives you his Asubhadam blessings, and it to him, it would be received with great humility and great joy that he's received the gift. Raja Indra was demanding and declaring, and when he did not get what he wanted, or if he felt he was not getting what he wanted, then his Abhiman was vented. And those people who are not wise in controlling the Abhiman, when it's vented, they themselves become victims of it because they say and do things that they will ultimately regret. Like Indra was about to do. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Govindaya Namo Namah Shri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
After the people of the Gao did their offerings to Govardhan, everyone was so happy. Bhagavan Krishna explained to them, make it festive. Do this with happiness in your heart. Do and make it in the name of Bhagavan with happiness in your heart. And afterwards he said, dress up, put on kumkum and chandan and dance and be merry. Because why should you be dancing and be merry? You're being thankful to Govardhan for giving you a bountiful harvest of food and is sustenance. Govardhan is doing that, and the question may ask, why should they not do the same thing to Indra? Is he not doing this? They should also, but not because Indra wanted it, because they felt it is their duty to do so. Should a child serve their parents with respect and honor because the parents want it? Or should the child serve their parents with respect and honor because it's their duty to do it? Which one? Tell me. Dhruv? Rudra, which one?
Because it's their duty to do so.
Because it's their duty to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Even if your parents don't want you to respect them, you will still respect them, right?
Yeah.
Because it's your duty to do it. Give them a big hand. So, it is not that we should not make offerings and thank Indra, but we should not do it because Indra wants it, or we should not pay our bills or pay a bribe to the minister because he said if you don't do this, then no. But pay the bills. By the way, you have to pay for water in this country. You must pay your bill on time. If you don't pay the bill, what happens? What will happen? They will send you another bill. And then they'll add interest on the bill. And then they'll threaten you to take you to court. And then they'll threaten you to turn off the water. But I want you to know, technically, it's very difficult for them to put an order to turn off the water because you know why? It is life support. And you cannot turn off the water for someone for life support. Please be aware of this. If you're a landlord and you have tenants, if the tenants are not paying their rent, you cannot turn off the water or the gas or the light, although they're not paying the rent. It's against the law to do that. Because it's basic sustenance. In this country anyway, that's the law. Krishna Kanaya Lal Ki Jai. Thus, Raja Indra, in a sense, in this political society we live in, it is the law that you cannot take away the basic sustenance of everyone. Indra was threatening these people, I will take away the basic sustenance from you if you do not glorify me. As such, he had to be pulled down from his high hill and be taught the basics of responsibilities to his duties. So, the ladies and everyone celebrated appropriately, and then together, all the people of Raj were very happy. But of course, there was one unhappy person, right? Who was unhappy? Indra was unhappy. Why was he unhappy? Did they take something away from him? They didn't give him something that he thought he deserved. So Indra is unhappy because of his own self. No one did anything to hurt him intentionally, but he has decided they have offended me and he will take actions to punish them. So what does he do? As I said, he turned on the rain. He opened up the taps and flooded everything. The people of the village and the Gaon now turned to Bhagwan Krishna. He is the only solution and says, please, what can we do? Bhagwan Krishna calmly says, let the rain fall. And then he did something very simple. Simple to him, but amazing in America and the world. Just lifted up the mountain with his little finger, held it up in the air and said, everybody come, stand on the hill, let the rain fall. He provided shelter. This analogy is very simple. That the Lord picked up the mountain, held it up, and then all the rain and everybody was under the shade. And this happened for one whole week. He stood there in that posture, holding up the mountain one whole week. 7 days. 7 days, why 7 days? Why did he hold it for an entire week? Why are we doing Bhagavad Katha for 7 days? Anybody knows the answer to this question? Okay, maybe I don't know the answer to the question either. So let us ponder, why is it for 7 days? And while we have this question of 7 days, is there such a thing as a week in the Hindu calendar? In the Hindu calendar, true Hindu calendar, is there such a thing as a week? We know there's a month, we know there's a year, but is there a week? Except Rahu and Ketu, so that's why we have 7 days. But is that considered to be what we use the term week? It's week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on. Is there such a thing in the Hindu calendar? There is the Krishna Paksh and Shukla Paksh. There are 2 periods in a month, the bright half and the dark half of the month, of 14 to 15 days depending on the month of the year. Thus, it is the Hindu calendar does not recognize the concept of a week. And those of us who are very old will remember people were not paid weekly. They were paid what is called fortnight, meaning at the middle of the month and the end of the month, not weekly. Middle of the month and end of the month. It became a bi-weekly payroll and then a weekly payroll. Bi-weekly meant every 2 weeks, or actually middle of the month and the end of the month. So you only had 24 pay periods a year. How many pay periods do we have a year if you're getting weekly salary? 52. But if you were getting monthly salary, you have 12. If you were getting bi-weekly salaries, how many would you get? 26. And if you were getting by the Hindu calendar, which is each fortnight, how many salaries will you get? You may get 27 sometimes. So, coming back to the concept of that now the people are all under protection of Bhagavan Krishna. Here Bhagavan Krishna represents to the world that have no fear, I'm here. I'm your ultimate protector at all times. Krishna Kanaya Lal Ki Jai. Before I continue, I'd like to ask one of the very talented young ladies, Gauri, who's here today to do first one bhajan, and Pandit Yudhishthir Pandit, Pandit Yudhishthir. आ रही है प्लीज, इधर से आ रही है, एक भजन गाइए. And I have Gauri, my sister, and her brother, Pandit Yudhishthir is here. Bhagwan ki jai. Here we have Bhagwan Krishna. He's holding up Mangovardhan, and all the citizens are being protected. He's the ultimate giver of shelter. The word shelter means that you're offered to stand beneath. Shelter, you are standing beneath. The Lord is always above us. We're always beneath Him, not to be lesser than Him. He can shelter us. To be beneath the Lord is not to be degraded, but to be elevated. To have the shelter of the Lord is to be elevated. We are in close contact with the Lord when He shelters us. So we must understand, when someone says, you're beneath me, in this term, they are continuing to be lesser than themselves. When Bhagwan provides shelter, He is uplifting you close with Him. When He provides shelter, He says, come into my canopy, come into my tent, come into my umbrella, be with me, be one with me. Bhagwan Krishna is showing that to the world, that He's everyone's umbrella, He's everyone's canopy, everyone is welcome there, regardless of what. By the way, He did not say, only the good people come under my mountain. He didn't say, all those people who are worshipping Indra, don't come. He said, everybody please come. He made sure that everyone is allowed to come because He is the all-merciful Lord and His canopy. And as I said last night in one vajan, that many of us declare what belongs to us. Nai. We declare what belongs to us, failing to realize we own nothing. Nai tera, nai mera, Mandir hai Bhagwan ka, pani uska, rooti usi ki, sab kuch usi mahan ka. Nai mera, nai mera, nai tera. So Bhagwan Krishna opens up the world and welcomes everyone. What is the message that Bhagwan Krishna is sending to us? To the father and the mother of the immediate family, they must always provide shelter to the family, not with expectation. It is their duty to provide shelter. To the leaders in our community, it is their duty to provide shelter in the form of guidance, counseling, and appreciation. Not because he likes or dislikes them, but because that is his duty to do. And so on. The minister, it is his responsibility to provide service, make sure everybody gets water, not because he likes them or dislikes them, because it is his duty to do. And as such, if we all take this status, then we are following the greatest dharma, such as Sanatana Dharma, where kartabya, duty, our duty is beyond all things. In the modern day, philosopher says, the man who slept and dreamt that life was beauty arose to find that life was only duty. And he who performed his duty well discovered that life was beauty. Let me repeat that again. The man who slept and dreamt that life was beauty arose to find that life was only duty. And he who performed the duty well discovered that life is beauty. Bhagwan Krishna is the Supreme Lord doing his duty. Indra was given supreme power, but he was not doing his duty. Govardhan was there always doing his duty, no one gave him any reverence, and he never demanded any reverence. Bhagwan Krishna said we must give him reverence, and the people gave him reverence. So tonight, Tiwariji, we will briefly be engaged in Govardhan Puja, and I will ask Pandit Yudhishthira to help Pandit Tiwari to brief Puja, Govardhan Puja. And as then, anyone who is here at the Mandir and brought prasad to offer to Govardhan and did not get to offer, so I ask the devotees now who are coming to Bhagwan Krishna, Rani, watch your step. They are going to do it. Can you do it? While we are preparing for puja, please join me in bhajan. Did you sing it? Jai Radha Madhav Jai Kunja Bihari Krishna Kanayalal ki Jai. Now we'll have bhajan from Asta.
Check, check.
बोला
गोविंद गोपाल हे नंद लाला 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 राधे
कृष्ण कन्हैयालाल की जय। सभी लोग मेरे स्वागत है। Let me take this opportunity to thank all of you for being here tonight. Those of you who have joined us here in the Mandir and also on social media, we thank you all. This year, it has been 3 years since COVID-19, and all of us have suffered in different ways, and some of us have grown to be better persons because of COVID-19. Every experience in life is an opportunity to learn and to grow. You know, in this Bhagavad Katha, there is the Katha of Raja Parikshit. Raja Parikshit had the power, Man Shanti, Shanti. Bachcho can make noise, but grown-ups should not talk. Raja Parikshit had the power to curtail his age, Kali. He had the power to say, no, I do not want Kali. Because Kali had so many bad things that will come. People will be out of control and animosity and impiety will be there, dominant. But then he said, there in this Kali there is some good things. He said, Kali Yuga Kevala Nama Dhara. He says, in this yoga of Kali, the name of Ram, the name of God, will become the most powerful and potent thing. And all that a devotee has to do is chant that name of the Lord with devotion. And so Raja Parikshit says, for this reason, although there are so many bad things about Kali Yuga, for this reason, I will let Kali Yuga be. Because the ordinary man can gain access to God. So in this age of Kali Yuga, we must remember that there is bad in this age and there is good. But we must look at the good in the world and take that and proceed. Some of us are stuck on the negativity of life and spend all of our lives only wishing for what we didn't have or what we should have had and not appreciating what we have. COVID is something that we have to learn to live with, by the way. It will never go away. It has come to stay. It will stay with us from generation to generation. It will become a normality. And today we might have thought of it as a bad thing, but in the progress of society, it is the evolution of the human being. And COVID is part of that evolution. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome my godson, my sister, Pandit Yudhishthir, to our Mandir. He is no stranger to this Mandir. He literally grew up in this Mandir, but very soon he will be officiating in a Mandir built by his family and community supporting him in Brampton. And that is the Trivedi Mandir. Some of you might have seen this beautiful structure on Chinkuzi. Anybody seen it yet? You haven't seen it? Drive by in Chinkuzi. And let's give him a big hand. He's here today with his sister, Gauri. And the two of them are the stalwarts who are managing this development project. God bless them. I will now ask Pandit Yudhishthir to say a few words. He is a very learned individual who spent many years here in the academies in a bachelor's degree and then went on to India to study, to become a Vedic Pandit and to learn and master Sanskrit. Pandit Yudhishthir. Dhanyavad.
बोलिए गोवर्धननाथ की जय। नमः परमहंसास्वादित चरण कमल चिन्मकरन्दाय भक्त जनमानस निवासाय श्री रामचंद्राय ध्येयं सदा परिभवग्नमभीष्टदोहं तीर्थास्पदं शिवविरञ्चनुतं शरण्यं भृत्यार्तिहं प्रणतपालभवाद्दिपोतं वन्दे महापुरुष ते चरणारविन्दम् सीतानाथ समारम्भां श्रीरामानन्दार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे श्रीगुरुपरम्पराम् गौराङ्गं रसमयं नित्यं रसाचार्यं रसोत्सुकं श्रीरामहर्षणदेवाख्यं सद्गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम्। बोले श्री बांके बिहारी लाल की जय। देवकी नंदन वसुदेव नंदन श्री यशोदानंदन भगवान की जय। गोवर्धननाथ की जय।
Yudhishthir, please come over here.
Devotees, आज अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड दायक श्री अखिलेश्वर जगदीश्वर सर्वेश्वर को प्रणाम करता हूँ एवं पूज्य गुरुदेव जी श्री को प्रणाम करता हूँ, समस्त ब्राह्मणों को प्रणाम करता हूँ एवं श्रीमद् भागवत चरणानुरागी एवं भक्तिमती माताओं को प्रणाम। आज हमारा और आपका अति सौभाग्य है कि आज श्री भगवान श्री कृष्ण के जन्मोत्सव पर उपस्थित होकर भगवान के सामने पूजा अर्चना और कथा को श्रवण करें। Tonight, devotees, we are all so very fortunate to be here. आपका भाग्य है कि आपने एक सनातनी परिवार में जन्म लिए, ये आपका भाग्य है। आपका सौभाग्य है कि इस धर्म को मानते हो और आपको पता है कि आज जन्माष्टमी है, गोवर्धन पूजा है, और आपका अति सौभाग्य है कि ये सब जानते हुए मंदिर में पहुंच के भगवान की पूजा करें। I want everyone to give yourselves a round of applause and give Shri Ram Mandir a round of applause for facilitating this great mahotsav. Devotees, बहुत कष्ट करके पूजा किया जाता है। Tonight you are lining up in this hallway and I was there, Guruji is getting a little warm and everyone is sweating. बहुत कष्ट करना पड़ता है। In the same way, when Bhagavan Krishna was advising the citizens of Gokul, हमें इस बार गोवर्धन पूजा करना चाहिए, और इंद्रदेव ने बहुत बारिश बरसाए, बहुत कष्ट हुआ ब्रजवासियों को, माँ देवकी को, वसुदेव जी को बहुत कष्ट हुआ, और बाद में जब भगवान श्री कृष्णा वृंदावन छोड़ेंगे तो माँ यशोदा और नंद बाबा को भी बहुत कष्ट होगा। In the last few years, we have all suffered quite a bit with COVID, and now that is wrapping up. मुझे बहुत सुख हुआ आपको देख के. I'm very happy to see all of you here to celebrate Bhagavan Krishna Janamotsav Govardhan Puja, and I hope that with the blessings of Guruji and the blessings of Bhagavan Krishna, that you will be able to keep this momentum going and fill our mandirs. बोलिए श्री बांके बिहारी लाल की जय।
धन्यवाद। तालियां। As we continue, it is now 10 after 9. Our program is intended to be finished at 9. But what is the line like outside? कितने लोग आ रहे हैं?
Long.
Still long? देखो।
Auntie Neelam.
नीलम जी, देखो। Okay. भजोरे मन गोवर्धन गिरधारी
भजोरे मन गोवर्धन गिरधारी भजोरे मन गोवर्धन गिरधारी गोवर्धन गिरधारी
Let me take this opportunity once again to thank all of you for being here tonight and invite you to join us tomorrow night as this Bhagavad Katha continues. Tomorrow the main subject will be Rukmini Vivah. Rukmini Vivah, the marriage of Rukmini. It is a marriage of Bhagavan Krishna will be marrying Rukmini. But the Katha is not about a marriage, although it's entitled Rukmini Vivah. It is much more in-depth and profound. Rukmini and her brother Rukmi and all the other family members represents unique characteristics of human nature. The Divine Lord is showing us how He plays that part and how everyone connects to Him in different ways. And Rukmi represents a personality that all of us can relate to. So join us tomorrow night for Rukmini Vivah Katha, and we will actually be blessed to have a wedding ceremony performed to some degree. Anybody want to get married tomorrow? Free ceremony, no charge. And as such, Rukmini Vivah Katha is to let us understand how you and I have 5 sense organs and how they affect our lives, and how the gunas, Tamo, Rajo and Sato Guna are part of our lives. As such, the title says Rukmini Vivah, but the message is way beyond marriage ceremony. Just like in marriage, glorious, joyful thing, it's marriage, but it means a lot more than the ceremony. The life itself is the marriage. Krishna Kadaya Lal Ki Jai. At this time, तुम्हारे जी प्रसाद सभी? Anyone else offer? If anyone has got prasad that they did not offer, this is the time to bring it now. If not, in a few minutes, we shall be having Arati. Tonight we are allowing everyone to participate in Arati, sanitization. We are offering sanitization for everyone to sanitize your hands. But parents and children must come together for Arati. Kitna Arati banaka? 10 thali. There will be 10 thalis prepared, and everyone, please use your own intelligence and take the Arati. Can we remove this? Rudra. Move that. Pull it over here. Watch me. Pull it this way. Leave the camera right here. Watch the wires. So keep everybody away from the cameras. Pull it more. Fine. Thank you. So everyone will be invited Arati. So tonight we want to leave everyone to leave here with a joyful feeling. Everybody practice smiling. Look at me. Smile, muskuraye. Dekho. Smile. Some of you are not smiling. Come on. Try this. Actually, very good if you smile. Come on, try it again. Smile. Dhanyawad. Everybody, muskuraye. Nice. Smile. Okay. Smile. Rani, smile. Smile. Okay. So remember, what is the greatest wealth we have? Amaru dhan Radha, Sri Radha, Sri Radha.
Sitaram Namaste, and once again, welcome to all of you. Those of you visiting us for the first time, and those of you who are on social media, we welcome you, and we hope that you join us again tomorrow evening for our Bhagavad Katha. tomorrow, as Panditji said, we'll be having Rukuni Vava. And on Sunday, our final day, we'll be having Maha Havan, which everyone is invited to celebrate in. And to join us as we'll be doing our Maha Havan outside in the patio. Everyone can participate. And this is a beautiful way to end our 7 days of Bhagavad Katha. We also have another special birthday coming up. Those of you who watch us on social media, on Facebook, YouTube, you'll know that Pandit Rupnath Sharma is celebrating his 70th birthday. Yes, I said it, 70. He has the gray hair to show it, but he still has hair. That's important. So on that day, we'll be all celebrating Mataji Ki Chauki. A very vibrant, beautiful group will be here to celebrate the wonderful, auspicious occasion of Panditji's birthday, which is actually on that date, Thursday, August 25th. Please invite friends and family. That is going to be the biggest birthday party of the year. And today we have no birthday wishes, but we have birthday wishes for Lord Krishna and for Uncle Benny. Uncle Benny, where are you? Uncle Benny is at the back, or he's usually working. But Uncle Benny is a very, very dedicated devotee of the Mandir, along with his family, Auntie Sab and the girls and their grandchildren. They sat to do puja, and we wish him a very happy birthday.
बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिन ये आए,
बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिन ये आए, तुझे हजारों साल ये मेरी आरज़ू। Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to Benny, happy
May Bhagavan bless him with many, many more years of happiness, health, and vitality, and prosperity in his family. I want to make a note that we've seen so many children dressed up as Krishna. Every boy child, sometime in their life, must be Krishna. Even as a baby, if not as a baby, do you understand, every parent has a responsibility to dress them up as Krishna. And every parent also who have daughters during Navratri have the privilege, every child must be a Devi once in their life. They have it very easy from that age. They start off for Navratri. So every mother must give their child that privilege of being a Devi or being Bhagavan Krishna sometime in their life. Let's give them all a big hand. All of the children, please. अच्छा, सभी लोग खड़े हो जाएं, आरती करेंगे. Everyone please stand. And please come in an orderly manner in the middle aisle and then spread out to get your talis. सभी लोग हाथ जोड़कर, बच्चों सुनो और देखो, हाथ जोड़कर in front of our chest. This is the way we are supposed to pray. We clasp our hands in front of our chest. We bow our heads in humility. Today, as we ask God's blessings, we ask forgiveness first and appeal to Him to be our constant guidance, our sustenance and protection. And we say, Bhagavan, if we should ever be given the privilege to be in a position where we have to concern ourselves with the welfare and care of others, bless us that we will have humility, that we will have that kind of wisdom to see that it's a privilege to serve and a privilege to have others needing us. As we pray, these are our thoughts. I ask you to listen to the voices of our young people and they will lead us in closing prayers.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadresham Megavaranam Shubhagam Lakshmikantam Kamalayanam Yogibhirjnanagamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavabhayaharanam Sarvaloke Karnatham. Om Dyo Shanti Antarikshagam Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rapa Shanti Roshadaya Shanti Vanaspatya Shanti Vishwadeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvagam Shanti Shanti Deva Shanti Sama Shanti Devi.
शीश झुकाकर धरती पर प्रणाम। गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर् विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुर्
साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। सद्गमय ज्योतिर्गमय अमृतं गमय।
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्।
बोले सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय। गणपति भगवान की जय। लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय। सरस्वती मैया की जय। शंकर भगवान की जय। जगदम्बे मैया की जय। बोलिए सब संतन की जय। सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की जय। अपने अपने माता पिता की जय। धर्म की जय हो अधर्म का नाश हो प्राणियों में सद्भावना हो विश्व का
कल्याण हो,
धरती माता की जय, भारत माता की जय। नमः पार्वती पते,
हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव। जय जय
श्री राधे
बोलो,
जय जय श्री राधे,
जय जय श्री राधे। कृष्ण कन्हैया की जय।
व्यास जी महाराज की जय, श्रीमद्-भागवत महापुराण की जय।
धन्यवाद। आसन दीजिए।